right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guests. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. And today, Tucker, I got to start calling him by his real name, Tucker Carlson, and Megyn Kelly. I've never personally been a fan of theirs. But yeah, now that everyone's just kind of feeling like they're just out with it. So we'll get in a little bit of that. Anita Sarkeesian back in the news for some reason. You can't keep an awful bitch down. And Nick Fuentes apparently had an epic viral rant. We'll get into that as well. Let's get into it.
Legal wars in Iran, and amongst a lot of Muslims.
For her she's been on the show many times. I haven't heard back more recently. So I just want you to know I have no personal ill will toward Megyn Kelly. We've had a pretty good rapport.
But she's a shill,
but
so
she did just say this. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? It might have been 2 days ago.
May 5th.
Okay.
So, yeah,
so yesterday.
Yeah.
So yesterday. And this all happened within 24 hours, really 48 hours, when you see Candace Owens saying we have to heal the fracture with the left. Nick Fuentes, who's been on the show, saying, I'm a moderate Democrat. Tucker Carlson, he's been saying for a while now, he regrets telling people to vote for Donald Trump without providing a viable alternative. And now Megyn Kelly saying, you know what, actually, maybe I was wrong about Islam, but most important,
Jesus,
there's an audience here.
He's casting a wide net now. You know, once he said that he's sorry that he endorsed Trump, he regrets it, and feels like he has to make amends. And his show is doing fine. It's not like he's hurting for audience, but I think he's understanding there may be some new listeners over here. You know, like he's gotten very, very popular lately, I read, with Muslim viewers because he's been standing up for Islam.
Now, to be clear, I've never been to the White House. I didn't go to the inaugural ball. I've never endorsed anybody until this very last election because I believed it was so consequential. I did endorse Donald Trump. And by the way, I don't regret it. I am glad that he is president of the United States. That's just a difference of opinion. You guys let me know if you think I'm a sellout because I'm glad that Donald Trump is president as opposed to Kamala Harris. Doesn't mean he's perfect. But that's the key.
And that's never what it means. Like, everyone will always make excuses for their side. But anyone who voted for Trump saying, oh, he did one thing that you guys said that you're against, or he did one thing that he's been talking about for 40 years, but a bunch of y'all didn't vote for it. Do you regret your vote now? Shut up. Shut up. Look, just because, and this is one thing that drives me crazy, and it's always been like this. The left wing, even when I was a staunch member of it, that they will never criticize their own political candidates because they think it makes them look weak. But honestly, it makes you look weak if you aren't willing to criticize your side, which is why I'm very critical of the left. I still consider myself to be a part of it, and I miss back when people were actual free thinkers and not just fuck all the white, cis, hetero, Christian males or whatever. I mean, that's fun too, but it can't be your whole persona. And again, you cannot elevate people by suppressing another. Lifting up those people who you claim to want to help, when really, let's face it, you just want to lift yourself up via clout chasing, for the most part. But there are some people who actually believe in it, and those people, I don't even believe Greta Thunberg anymore. Not since they found a bunch of drugs and fucking condoms and no food on their little flotilla to Israel. Come on.
Some new listeners here. Oh, yeah. New listeners like this.
These days, Tucker Carlson has a big fan base amongst the anti-war left, who see him as saying the right stuff, trying to stop Trump from illegal wars in Iran, and amongst a lot of Muslims and Arab Americans who see him now as this great champion of Palestine. Wherever I go, literally, Hassan, wherever I go in this country, I do a lot of live events. I do a lot of public events. People come up to me, when are you going on Tucker Carlson? When are you going to do an event with Tucker Carlson? Why don't you do a collab with Tucker Carlson? We love Tucker Carlson. Wherever I go. People ask me more about Tucker Carlson, even in my own family, than they ask me about my wife and kids.
I will guarantee you this, by the year 2028, Tucker Carlson will be infinitely more popular in the Republican Party than Donald Trump. Infinitely.
Look, guys, it's humiliating. Tucker Carlson is fighting against this war more than any of the Democratic leaders.
The Islamic regime right now is literally broadcasting Tucker Carlson interviews in Persian on their 24-hour news channel.
Now, that doesn't mean because there are some people who are left politically who can watch somebody, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It's fine. I get it. You want a broader coalition. But when those people who, by the way, seek to subvert the United States. Any doubt about that with Mehdi Hassan?
Right.
Any doubt with Cenk Uygur, by the way? The Young Turks, he denied the Armenian genocide for a very long time until he said,
So naturally, the Young Turks and System of a Down should hate each other, right?
I was wrong about that. I promise I would never do the impression again. Oh, so the people who vote, as we just saw in the elections, they don't matter so much. It's the Mehdi Hassan crowd. It's a very clear pivot with, again, no reasoning beyond I say so. And here's Megyn Kelly. I want to know the flash of genius moment. What's changed?
I have to tell you, Mark, it's been something I've noticed just since I've gotten sort of more clear-eyed on Israel, that a lot of the anti-Muslim rhetoric that's put out there originates with people who are very, very pro-Israel, who kind of need us to demonize them.
Right.
And I've taken a look recently at my own rhetoric on this to say, like, have I been manipulated? I want to make sure I'm not getting manipulated. But I think he's having a lot of Muslim viewers flock to him. I know for a fact he has a lot of young men flock.
Is it just me, or does she seem dumber when she speaks for herself? Hey, good morning, Yanuka.
To him. And so while he may have lost some contingent of the Fox News audience that's very, very pro-Israel and pro-Trump, and you can't say anything about Trump, for every one of those who leaves, there is another newer, younger audience member who does want to hear these traditional lines challenged and hear just new independent thinking. I mean, I'm experiencing some of that myself, and Tucker probably times 10.
Yeah, a couple of things. Want to hear these traditional lines questioned. Do you mean the traditional lines like Islam is the religion of peace, and to question it is Islamophobia, which we had to live under? By the way, we got that from George W.
By the way, it's only religion of peace, especially if you get into what some of the, I would want to say fringe, but some more erratic ones. It's only religion of peace after they kill you. I'm just saying, you have to kill all the infidels, and then you will live in a time of peace. But yeah, sure, go ahead. You heard someone say something on a TikTok, so you know about the entire religion.
W. Bush as well, and certainly an entirely complicit media, to be clear. Do you mean that? Because that's what we've been questioning. She says, and the people who have really pushed this line of thinking, pro-Israel and have to, well, okay, what if someone happens to be pro-Israel, but it's irrelevant to their view of Islam? There are plenty of people, by the way, who are not pro-Israel who have the same view of Islam. Let me ask you, say these lines were pushed by those who are pro-Israel. Does that change the facts? Does it change the fact that, let me ask you this, has this changed? Did Muhammad wage wars? Yes, he did. Did Muhammad beat his wife? Yes, he did. Did Muhammad...
Hold on, sorry. I know I'm getting him in the middle of this, but this popped up on my timeline. This is how you get the AI revolution, and this one's especially. Look at the second guy that gets out of here. This is that an AT-4? Is that a bazooka? What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, sorry about that.
Did you have a child bride? Yes, he did. Keep your crypto safe, even when you are at your most vulnerable.
Hey, how'd you get in here? Go! Stop recording me!
Do it for social. Go to wallet.rumble, no middlemen, just your money, and now your crypto in one secure, easy-to-use place. Get started today. And the fact that this has all happened seemingly in unison, where it's like, wait, well, hold on a second, Islam is not a threat. Well, we've all been fighting against that for a very long time.
Yeah.
Democrats aren't that bad. What? They're all the same. Well, then why did you endorse Donald Trump? Megyn Kelly, is this the same thing that Megyn Kelly would apply to, having trans children and supporting it on her show when she was on a mainstream network? Also doing the Me Too thing, which may or may not have happened at Fox News, that film Bombshell, being a feminist and anti-Trump until she went online, realized you can't survive, carrying the legacy media talking points, and now going, there might be a new audience of Islamic people who, by the way, seek the destruction of the West. This is very important. I've talked about this a few times. It's kind of a cliche where they'll point to people going like, well, if you don't like it here in the United States, if you think that Castro's regime is so good, why don't you go there? Well, if you think it's so great in Iran, why don't you go over there? Here's the thing. It may be someone who sounds silly or ignorant saying it. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just like when people say, well, I'm not racist. I have a lot of black friends. People on the left go, so you think that defends you? It's actually a perfectly legitimate defense. The fact that it's sort of become cliche because it's been used so much doesn't mean it's invalid. It means that it's been used so much because, generally speaking, someone who hates black people wouldn't have a lot of close black friends. Someone saying, if you don't like it here in this country and you think it's better in insert country here, Iran, UAE, Nicaragua, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Canada, right? If you think it's better there, why don't you move there? You are free to do so.
Yeah.
There is an answer, though, and that's the important part. The answer is that if someone says these other countries, these other regimes, communist China, communist Cuba, the Islamic world, it's better than the United States, and they stay here, the answer is they are staying here to subvert this country to the point that it becomes like theirs. That's why they're staying here.
Mm-hmm. This is their strategy. Yeah. Stabbing and blowing people up failed. And we lived through that. That's the reason that I'm on this show, is because I used to come and comment on what was going on in the world when somebody invariably every few months blew themselves up or shot up Charlie Hebdo or shot at people that were at an art festival somewhere in Texas that had the Prophet Muhammad painted incorrectly, right? Invariably it happened. And I would just like to ask Megyn Kelly, I think all of this is bullshit. Tell me when you changed your mind. Because in January, you were saying exactly the opposite. And the reason I bring that up, it's not like you couldn't have gotten new...
And that's the biggest thing. These people go with the tides. It's like whatever way the wind blows, that's the direction that they lean. And it absolutely baffles me. Jake Shill is friends with Dave Smith. It doesn't mean that Jake hates Jews. Yeah. I mean, that's I guess a fair point, but I don't know, man. But as far as Megyn Kelly goes, like my least favorite member of this team is saying, just what was it, January, February, she was completely on the other side of this, and then all the backlash came for the Iran war. And, now she's on the other side of it. She feels betrayed. Not because she didn't listen and didn't know what she was getting into, because she did. It's because she's a shill.
Information from January to today. I'll grant you that is. But help me understand what parts of Islam you were enlightened about that are no longer antithetical to the West, as you said. What values that Islam says that they have and want to have for the rest of the world? What parts of Sharia law are now in line with Christianity and the Constitution of the United States? Help me understand, because what it sounds like is somebody said it's all been the Jews this entire time and you bought it. Do me a favor. Help me understand why Hindus hated Muslims prior to the creation of the State of Israel. Help me understand that. If it's the Jews that are doing this everywhere, you telling me that there's Hindu Jews out there doing this?
I'm sure there are a few.
Doesn't make sense.
Hindu.
Yeah, Hindu. And by the way, they are the cheapest of the cheap. You combine the two, they're tipping in pennies.
You know what? I did leave out one possible scenario. She didn't know what she was talking about to begin with.
Well, I'll leave one more possible scenario.
Yeah, there's that.
there are quite a few new listeners here.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
56 billion?
Yeah, quite a few new listeners here.
Every show.
And I'm not just talking about Islam. I'm talking about the left that seeks to subvert it. Let me ask you this. AOC. Do you think that AOC is in our government because she wants to return America to its Christian traditional roots? Do you think she's a representative because she loves America and wants to improve America to what it's meant to be? Or do you think she would rather America be like Cuba? Do you think she would rather America be like Venezuela or Bernie Sanders? Do you think he's in office because he loves freedom, pursuit of happiness, First Amendment, Second Amendment rights, and he wants a traditional Christian nationalist viewpoint as the founding fathers? Or do you think he believes breadlines are a good thing and he'd like to bring them here? Do you think that Karen Bass, mayor of Los Angeles, do you think she's mayor of Los Angeles because she wants Los Angeles to be a wonderful city, an example of American exceptionalism where your hard work is rewarded and our industrious nature, right? We're a shining city on a hill. Or do you think, for the same reason that she traveled to Cuba dozens of times under a fake program that allows her to take part in their propaganda programs under the guise of construction, do you think she would rather make Los Angeles more like Cuba? Record homelessness, entitlement programs.
Seems that way.
No unified language. The answer is what matters. People often stop. If you don't like America, you like those countries, you're free to go there. People go, this silly redneck. No, let's go further. Let's answer it. This person doesn't like America. They've made it clear. They prefer these other countries that are antithetical to Americanism. So why are they here? Why are they in office? Why do they dominate academia? Why do you think the curriculum that your kids learn in public schools say America bad, colonialism, we're uniquely responsible for slavery, we're uniquely racist? Do you think it's because they want to? No, they're still here because they want to subvert America and make it like those places that they prefer. That's the truth. And the greatest offender on that front is Islam. For proof, look anywhere that they've ever attained a majority, or even getting close to it. Look what's happened in Europe. That's what's coming your way. It's never gone any other way. Islam majority, your rights are gone. That's it. Oh, you're still here and you're still watching this on YouTube? You've probably noticed something is...
I mean, pretty much. And that's what we're seeing in Britain. Like, you'll even see on Keir Starmer, on his X page, every advertisement he has, he says he's here for the people and for the community. But every single video that he posts is majority Muslim. You can't make this up. Like, majority immigrant. I'm all for immigration. A lot of people are all for immigration. But they cannot take precedence over the people who were born and raised here. And we can't have mass flows of immigrants. Because it very much seems that the 100-year plan is real. But anyway, let's continue to...
Anita Sarkeesian has done an insane amount of damage to the video game industry since the days of gaming.
And she's not even a gamer. For those of you who are unaware, this is one of the three people that caused Gamergate, the first one, about 10, 12 years ago to happen. And she's been looming in the shadows ever since.
Gamergate 1, and it looks like she is continuing to divide this audience because her name was listed in the credits of Slay the Spire 2. She was listed as a consultant. People have been talking about it on social media over the past day, and it's caused a firestorm. And there's people who are debating whether or not it's okay to monetarily support projects she's been a part of. There's people threatening to boycott these games going forward, and it just is a terrible look for her and this project she's touched yet again. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, people like Zoe Quinn, Brianna Wu, and Anita Sarkeesian were the major faces behind Gamergate 1. These are not people that actually cared about this industry. No. They simply cared about making money off of it as quickly as possible.
And even Anita Sarkeesian said that she didn't know a lot about gaming when she started this little crusade of hers. She had to learned a lot about gaming, and she didn't even. I can do a deep dive on Anita Sarkeesian since apparently she's still out there, like the Phantom frickin' Menace. I'll do a little bit of a deep dive on her just because there's quite a bit. Not for a little bit. The last thing I heard about her was when Anthem was being made. I heard that she had visited BioWare studio, and I was like, oh, great. The so-called Destiny killer that I was hoping for is going to suck because she's there. And then, and this was right after. Okay, so Mass Effect Andromeda came out, and it was awful. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Maybe they're putting all their good people on Anthem. And then about 2 months later, I heard that Anita Sarkeesian had visited BioWare Studios specifically to talk to the Anthem team. And I was like, there's no hope. There's no hope at all. All is lost for BioWare. And then fast forward about 6 more years, and the Veilguard came out.
Possible. These are individuals who made these large promises that they didn't end up keeping. They took the money and they ran. But Anita Sarkeesian has kept in this industry, but in a very quiet way. Her name isn't attached to a lot of projects, but we've heard
Thank
from
God.
studios that, yeah, they have used her for consulting work in the past. She has talked about how she's been doing.
I really hope I didn't buy this game. I haven't played it yet. I like the first Psychonauts game a lot. We worked with Anita Sarkeesian on Psychonauts 2, and she helped us make a better game. No, she didn't. She pointed out multiple issues that were blind spots we didn't even know we had. She provided a new perspective, the wrong perspective. She is anti-gamer. If you are consulting this anti-gamer, I mean, it kind of explains what everyone except Nintendo's doing right now. Looking at you, PlayStation.
Doing things behind the scenes, and just because a game doesn't ship with her name on it doesn't mean she hasn't actually met with studio leads and project designers and people who actually are important. And people like Neil Cuckman have talked about talking to her in the past and meeting with her in the past, and now people are discussing Slay the Spire 2's success and the fact that Anita Sarkeesian did do work on this game. So, this was one of the many threads that blew up. Anita Sarkeesian, well-known grifter in the gaming space and a centerpiece for the original Gamergate, runs a consultancy company that acknowledges various game publishers and studios who have worked in conjunction with her. And most recently, she has been discovered to be working with Humble Bundle, same parent company Ziff Davis owns IGN, and
Why? She's never been anything. The only thing she's ever been is a thorn in the side of anyone who likes games at all. She's not a gamer. And this is like, people like her are the reason why people say, oh, if you play Bejeweled, then you're a gamer. No, you're someone who's bored waiting in a waiting room or something. That doesn't make you a gamer. Playing an actual video game, having a console or a gaming PC and playing on those, getting in depth, maybe studying some of the lore. These are the things that make you a gamer. Buying an actual game on day one. Having a whole catalog. And honestly, having a very, if you have a PC especially, having a very large backlog of games that you bought because they were on sale for a ridiculously low price. And they just kind of exist on your hard drive. or in your
Megacrit, the
library.
studio behind Slay the Spire 2, and she is listed as a consultant for STS2. Why? To make sure that dragon cards didn't have too much toxic masculinity. Now, I would never sit here and tell people to buy or not to buy something. You can get the information and make the decision for yourself. I know I personally am somebody who will never support a project that Anita Sarkeesian, Brianna Wu, or Zoe Quinn has touched if I know about it beforehand. If I know that these are people that are directly profiting from it, yeah, you are not going to make money off of me. And this is the first time in a couple of years that Anita Sarkeesian's name has really been brought up. Of course, when Feminist Frequency had shut down in 2024, people were talking about how she failed as a gender grifter in this space. And occasionally you'll hear about these 3 individuals behind Gamergate 1, but they are much more.
One pretended to come out as one pretended to change sides. I can't remember whichever one was the trans one. I want to say was it Zoe Quinn, but they came out against the movement, and then they just kind of went away again. I can't remember. I'll have to look up and see what happened. Either it was like just them grifting to see if they could function on the other side or something. I don't know. They just kind of faded into obscurity, not unlike Mundane Matt.
More careful about how their name is put out there, what interviews they're doing, and what projects they are touching. Now, this has changed a lot of people's mentality on Slay the Spire 2, and I think that this game is still making a lot of people happy. And if you bought it, you're enjoying it, I'm happy for you. I am glad that you have gotten your money's worth. And I do think that, yes, it is a behemoth success for indies, and it just goes to show that indie games can be massively successful, especially when there is what is supposed to be considered major competition releasing around the same time. Slay the Spire 2 dropped on the same day as Marathon, and you can clearly tell which game has actually gone the distance, which game has sold millions upon millions upon millions of copies and had a very small budget compared to Marathon, which spent hundreds of millions of dollars and has lost most of its player base. Though I do think this studio got extremely lucky because people did not talk about this or realize this until over the past couple of days. And if this had been talked about closer to the launch of this experience, more people would have withheld their money, more people would have second guessed a purchase, more people would have been talking about this experience in this way and really questioned why her name was a part of it. And yeah, I do think hiring a consultant for a game like this is absolutely fucking stupid. It's not like you've got 100 hours worth of story and you're trying to consult somebody maybe as more so an editor and somebody who's like proofreading and giving some sort of expert look over all of it. And that's not what Anita Sarkeesian does. Really, she points out the quote-unquote problematic content in projects. Now, we also don't know if they consulted her several years ago and they didn't use her work in the final product, but as we generally know, you're not going to hire somebody and not take their feedback seriously. You're not going to pay somebody tens of thousands of dollars just to discard their take. Are they going to acknowledge this? Most likely not. And even if they did, they'd probably just say...
Which kills me. I will never understand how she keeps getting work. She's never made any positive input. Hey, good morning, Lord Evil Sizer. To the gaming sphere. She did a whole study, and I'll do this on... I'm going to do a deep dive. It won't be this weekend. I'm going to be working on that, and I'm still working on how I would save the MCU and Star Wars. It just kind of got put on the back burner while things changed at work. But Anita Sarkeesian once did a whole little study on why Batman's cape, which again drapes over both of his shoulders, over his back. And no matter how she turned it, this heavy cape would not reveal his butt for more than a split second. She called this toxic masculinity and sexism because she could not get Batman's cape, which again drapes flatly over his back, and she could not see his butt for more than a split second. But something Catwoman, and I'm like, that's just the characters. Catwoman doesn't have a cape and Batman does. I mean, you could see Green Lantern's butt. If he had a Green Lantern game, he doesn't have a cape. You could see Spider-Man's butt. You could see, I don't know why I'm thinking of male characters that don't wear capes, but Wolverine, Deadpool. Deadpool shows you his butt. I mean, what are we even talking about here? But yeah, like I said, she did a whole study on that, and a bunch of other equally stupid things through her fake charity known as Feminist Frequency.
Yeah, we work with a wide range of people, and they would basically leave it there. Now, this image that is circulating on social media isn't from
Fetus Berry
Devolver directly. Devolver hasn't made some new big statement on Anita Sarkeesian. This is basically just an image that she uses as a reference point on things like her website to say, I've worked with all these different companies and here's what they have to say about me. But it says Anita's work has been an
Captain
essential
America,
part
exactly.
of the Devolver production workflow for a long time.
Exactly. And Captain America's ass is America's ass, according to Ant-Man. What are we even talking about here? Can't we just go back to where before we were pointing out everything? And Anita Sarkeesian has also been noted to say everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out. This is, look, when you go out looking for something specifically, you're going to find it. You're going to find racism even where it doesn't exist. You're going to find sexism even where it doesn't exist. You're going to find homophobia even where it doesn't exist. And now transphobia. You're going to find it even where it doesn't exist. And this kind of thing absolutely drives me insane because it used to be, it was just kind of brimming below the surface. And now it's widespread. This shit's everywhere. She has launched an entire new wave of twat thoughts.
Time now. Whether it's a quick sense check or a full consultancy gig, our teams have always benefited hugely from collaborating with Anita and her group. She is at the forefront of promoting diversity and inclusivity within our industry, and for that reason, she's a vital part of the work that we do. Now, again, for me personally, I will not support a project that these individuals have touched, and hey, listen, I think that going forward, I wouldn't buy Mega Crit games, and it is what it is. Maybe they don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with anything involving Sweet Baby Inc., involving Anita Sarkeesian. I'm not touching any of these things. And they'll probably be shitty anyway, so I'll be like, oh, okay, that was money well saved, but...
Maybe they genuinely think this will blow over, and by the time their next game releases, people will have forgotten, but they have already upset their core player base just with their recent updates, never mind with this controversy on top of it. Because they've changed the balancing of the game, it is currently sitting at a mostly negative for recent reviews on Steam, which is a very, very bad look for them.
Speaking of bad look,
and
that's probably what it is right there.
There are some individuals, right, who claim that they're like part of the LGBT community. They have pronouns in their bio on X that are saying, I already have 200 hours in the game, and now I'll put in another 200 after finding this out. But it just goes to show that, yeah, these people are really only supporting projects because there is somebody behind it that they think owns the chuds and has wrecked the chuds. I think that diversity and inclusivity is great when it's done naturally, and if you're hiring a consultant to tell you how to diversify your game, and that is basically going to convince you you are going to get canceled if you do not alter your work, just goes to show that it wasn't...
And there's no positive side of having any of these people, especially this one, involved in anything. She doesn't know anything about games. She wasn't a gamer before she started becoming the great crusader against gamers. And she's an albatross. If you attach her to your game, you will kill your game. You will kill out any of the hardcore gamers involved in buying said game. And we are very loud. And we will let our friends know, not that they're involved, but that anything that they touch turns to Veilguard.
Done based off of a natural sense of inclusion, or simply because you thought it was the best story to tell and these were the best characters to put in your game. Now, scrolling through the comments, of course, it's brutal. Tons of people saying, yeah, this is absolutely horrific. Just goes to show I'm not going to support them in the future. And yeah, it really does hurt their image. We also know Anita Sarkeesian works with plenty of companies, even ones like Wings Interactive that I've talked about many times on the channel that has ties to Sweet Baby Inks. While Devolver Digital is at least true to their name, they did devolve quite a bit. Gross. Here's one of Smash JT's other posts. People still consult her. This is wild. Disappointing.
Yeah, exactly.
The question is, why would the dev team have to hire an activist for an already successful formula? Because they are convinced by these people that there is always more they can do to be better. And it seems like some of the team members behind this experience have the same mentality, which if it's as bad as Anita Sarkeesian's, that's basically fuck gamers and gamers are terrible and I hate gamers.
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess I'm not buying it. So many other great forms of entertainment, no big deal. Never heard of the game, and thanks to you, I won't even touch it with a 50-foot pole. And again, this found major success when it released, and I do always think that it is so great to see indie games thriving and making so much money and them doing so good. But yeah, there are plenty of people out there who don't want to support Anita Sarkeesian and don't want something to be successful because she was a part of it, because she's just a terrible individual who tried to kill this industry. So this is just a really disappointing situation to see overall. I don't think that Anita's going to make a statement. I don't think Devolver.
She doesn't need to. She probably will. But if she does, it'll literally destroy anything that she's talking about. As it always does. Again, she's the reason, she's one of the main reasons that BioWare has become what it's been. Do you remember back in the day when they made great games like Mass Effect 1 and 2, the KOTOR games? EA's the reason that Mass Effect 3 wasn't horrible, but it was definitely, as far as the ending to a trilogy goes, it was definitely sub Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is basically where I draw the line on, yeah, that was good enough. Because it wasn't great, but it was like, you know, that was, I can live with this. This is fine. But yeah, no, like I said, she consulted the company and left many of her minions there at the company of BioWare around the time that Anthem came out. Again, Mass Effect Andromeda and Mass Effect 3 not really utilizing the choice structure that they had talked about. That's mostly on EA, okay? And the slow decline of the Mass Effect trilogy was because of the acquisition of BioWare by EA. Not unlike how Fox kind of fell off right before the Disney merger. Mass Effect Andromeda was pretty much a result of them probably cutting out a lot of people and probably the better people being cut out or leaving. But Anthem was a combination of all that and Anita Sarkeesian visiting, and then the end effect being, of course, Dragon Age the Veilguard, which was atrocious. It was everything that Dragon Age was not. In all BioWare games, you have the ability to be gay, straight, whatever. Okay? No matter if you're male or female. Well, and everything since Mass Effect and Dragon Age. All those games. I mean, you could technically be gay in KOTOR, I think. But yeah, you had options. You could be whatever you wanted to be. The way an RPG should be, in an American-based RPG at least. However, you had to be a trans. What are the devil people from D&D? It's gonna drive me crazy, but you basically had to be that. And for people who say that they want you to have free will and all that, for them to change, again, an American RPG, which gives you the free reign to be whoever, whatever you want to be, male, female, gay, straight, black, white, whatever, takes that from you and makes you be what they want people to be, is absolutely awful. Kick mobile app needs some work. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. All right, moving on to Nick Fuentes' little viral rant crash out.
I'm a Democrat now. I'm a moderate Democrat in 2026.
You don't have to be a moderate in the voting American public.
Yeah.
None of them are in the Democrat Party. I've had him on the show, and it's very difficult for me to hate him because we had a good conversation. But like I've said, at least I know where he stands. I think he's changed it a little bit because when I spoke with Nick Fuentes on the show, we asked him about this, and he didn't say that he was a Democrat. I remember him saying that, you know, he was disappointed with Trump, and this does need to be a right-wing movement, but it needs to be improved and corrected. Well, at the same time as you hear this from Megyn Kelly, and I know that Nick Fuentes, by the way, does not like Tucker Carlson, rightfully so. He has disagreements, I understand, with Megyn Kelly. But at the same time, we're hearing a lot of the same rhetoric. Now, Nick Fuentes, the crazy, radical, right-wing extremist, as the left has labeled him, he's a moderate Democrat, too, and you should be.
It's getting really, really weird. And I will tell you this much. I trust me. I trust you. I only trust people younger than me because they're not feds. And I will say this. Fuck everybody in this administration. Trump, Vance, Rubio, Hegseth. I don't want one of them. Fuck anybody that worked for Fox News ever. Oh, well, he hasn't worked for Fox News in 3 years. Fuck him. You worked for Rupert Murdoch for 10 years. Rupert Murdoch was paying you $20 million a year for 10 years. Fuck you. I don't trust you. Get out of my head. Oh, you're against Israel now? Oh, great. Just when we needed it. Only after everybody on earth was red-pilled. Only after everybody and literally their grandfather was red-pilled by Instagram Reels. Oh, now Tucker's against Israel. Thanks a lot. Only after we all got red-pilled. So I don't trust you. And here's my message. It's the same message as before. 2026, vote down. I'm a Democrat now. I'm a moderate Democrat in 2026. I don't know about 28. For 2026, I am a non-woke Democrat.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. The Democrat Party is now officially the holders of all anti-Semitism. The anti-Semitic right is now officially Democrat. Congratulations. You got him.
Hi, my name's Nick Fuentes. I'm an Afro-Latino.
And instead of just being half of the anti-Semitism because you allowed all the Islamists, who are probably the most, like, Islam is basically what you fear Christianity would be. It is literally, this is what drives me crazy. It is literally, what's that Hulu show? With the chick with the forehead and a chin from Handmaid's Tale. It is Handmaid's Tale. You got it. And this is what drives me crazy. You'll see stuff on posted on X and Facebook all the time. It'll have a nun and it'll have someone wearing the full Islamic garb, female. And it'll say, why is this okay and the other one's not? Because the nice Christian ladies who were dressed as penguins, they have a choice whether or not they want to wear that. Those are people who have devoted their whole lives to their God. What are we even talking about? The other people, that was their husband's choice. It's not the same. And while I'm paused here, the gerrymandering has to stop. Look, I didn't agree with the ones the conservatives did first, but they at least made sense because they were somewhat, district shaped. They were a chunk of land, a square-esque shape, rhomboids, maybe, a parabola. But okay, so this is what Tennessee was before. Kind of made sense. You got everything surrounding Memphis right here. You got a nice big squarish chunk right there. Okay. All right, that's getting a little crazy. That looks like a ghost. That kind of looks like West Virginia. That makes sense. This kind of makes sense. Okay, sure. Okay, sure. And believe it or not, I think this is and this guy's complaining Republicans are doing so well they have to cheat to win. No, before what they did, it wasn't cheating. It was sketchy, but it wasn't actually cheating. Okay, they were just making a couple of district changes for population growth. They were doing in the middle of the decade or whatever. But a lot of movement had happened post-COVID because all the blue states fucked it up so much. All states kind of fucked it up, but especially if you lived on the coast, it was awful. From what all my friends who live on the coast have told me. But if you look at California districts, Illinois districts, Minnesota districts, all the blue state districts, they already look like this, only blue. And they leave a little bit of red because despite them being heavily unipartied, California, they still have a lot of conservative voting base, at least 35%. Some say it's even like as high as 41% conservative in California. They've redistricted to where I think it's, well, they tried to redistrict it to where only 10% of their representatives were conservative. And I think currently it's sitting at like 20%, and they were trying to narrow it down to 10. Their gerrymandering to do that was even worse than this. Considering this is mostly a red state except for in Nashville and Memphis. This gerrymandering is not even as bad as that. I'll just come out and say it. Looking at it on a map, it's not nearly as bad. Let's look at, I know I'm in the middle of a video right now, but hold on. What was it? Illinois. Where was it? Yeah, this one. I mean, look at this. You've got the St. Louis district going all the way over here, snatching up Champaign as well, right? And I know St. Louis is mostly in Missouri, but let's face it, both of Missouri's big cities are half in another state, so don't even get me on that shit. Miss me with that. But look at this up here. Look at this. This district is super long, so it goes inside the city. This district is super long. Hold on. Delete that. Yeah, this one's by party. They do this. They district it and just have it just kind of kiss the side of Chicago proper, just so you can get all these country folk inside of this. And when they do it, it makes what would be a probably solid red or light red district light blue. Because there's just ciphering out all these people, and they're like, okay, we got all this, and this town wants to be part of the magic. We won't want to put it here because population or whatever. But just look at this shit. Like, this looks like a dungeon map from The Legend of Zelda and shit. Okay, so miss me with that whole thing of the Republicans are cheating. They are. 100% they are. But, I mean, who was doing the big cheat? Like I said, this is more or less, like I said, this one looks like a ghost, whatever. This one's kind of weird. But for the most part, mostly square-ish shapes. And then this is just them using a lesser version of that very same process that the blue states have been utilizing for years. Okay, you're just getting it. You're just bringing a lot of that red population in there and completely stamping out the blue city's ability to destroy itself. I mean, I'm sorry, its ability to govern itself. I don't agree with it. I don't like it when either side does it. But for this Delulu half-a-tard here, I mean, look at him. Yeah, he looks He looks like he's got his wits about him, right? Retard. But no. Republicans are doing so well they have to cheat to win. Again, this is just doing a lesser version of what the other side's already doing. Does it make it right? No. Do I agree with it? Absolutely not. But you can't be okay if your side does it and then be pissed off when the other side does it. Let's continue with the Fuentes.
Non-woke Democrat. I care about affordability. I care about foreign interventions. I care about the border. I'm a non-woke moderate Democrat. I think the GOP needs to be destroyed. I think the corrupt criminal government of Trump needs to be slowed down. We need to impeach the orange. It's time to put this in a peach.
Now, to be fair, I appreciate that at least he lets you know where he stands.
Yeah, he said
People like
Afro-Latino.
Tucker and Megyn Kelly, like Megyn Kelly just recently said, it doesn't matter what happens, I'll still vote Republican. Tucker Carlson has said, you know, of course I'm not a liberal or a Democrat. Nick Fuentes will tell you that he is. I disagree. If Nick comes back on the show, it will then be a disagreement between a conservative and a Democrat, a moderate Democrat. That's fair. We know where we stand. But is that what you thought you were getting this entire time? And then he says, I'm a non-woke Democrat. I care about the border. Problem. Name me any significant...
Real quick. Sorry. I know. So Gavin Newsom's press account, which, by the way, if you think Denims is the queen of cell phone, you ain't seen nothing like Gavin Newsom and his press accounts. White House ballroom Lego set, 5 times cost increase. He was paying for it himself. He was going to pay for it himself. If any of this is true, it's because when they said that he couldn't build it, if they said that they couldn't build it with his own money and now the taxpayers have to pay for it, that's not on him. He was going to pay for it. What are we even talking about? And it was for like what, 500 million at the time. Now it's over $1 billion, 5 times cost increase now. So I naturally, being me, said, "How's that high-speed railway going?" High-speed railway going. Because this fucker's been trying to build a high-speed railway, not across the state, between 2 major cities for the last... Hold on. How long has California been trying to build that high-speed railway?
Project for over 30 years, with formal planning starting in the mid-90s.
30 years.
Construction has been active since 20.
This is how much red tape is there. How much money has California spent on the high-speed railway that hasn't been built yet?
California has spent approximately $13.8 to $15.7 billion on the high-speed rail project.
That hasn't even started being built yet. Or at least it's not even close to finished. I'm pretty sure they've put up like a mile at most. And I'm sure it's already outdated.
Significant platform wing of the Democrat Party that is non-woke and has done anything as it relates to immigration other than open the borders and gaslight Americans while they complained about open borders. I'm a moderate. Aren't Catholic, but so the policy of the left, there's not a single Democrat with a national platform who would put any limitations on abortions whatsoever. Name me any Democrat who says that biological men can't become women and didn't, at least at one point, very recently support biological men in women's sports. Name me any Democrat, any significant portion of Democrats who believe in the absolute right to self-preservation in the Second Amendment. Name me any Democrat, name me any significant Democrat who was furious about the Department of Misinformation and Nina Jankowicz. You know what, Nick? Name me any Democrat who stood up for you when you were deplatformed. Any. You're moderate? Okay. They're not. Not a one. I guess now we know the solution. Hand it over to them and hope that they'll moderate once they have consolidated power. I just disagree.
No, it's even worse. It's not hope that they'll moderate. He knows it'll get bad. I think that's what they're depending on. They're accelerationists. If it's going to get bad, let's make it get bad right now. We're going to get our candidates in there. Where your candidates were on the ballot. How'd they do in the primaries? It's not bad enough yet. So you need 4 years? You need 8 years to get it that bad? How far gone do we become? Because you said it's over here in America right now. In another video, you said that if it's immigration, you're not even interested in it anymore. It's just Israel now. Which is it? You're a moderate Democrat who's concerned about the border? Destroy everything? America's already gone? We got to rebuild? Which is it?
Let me ask you this. Do you think that it is more feasible? So my view on Israel, first off, you guys know, screw AIPAC. AIPAC can go fornicate themselves with a wire brush. I've been very clear.
It's very painful, too.
$3 to $4 billion a year that we give to Israel. Now, it is different than aid to a lot of other countries because it's military, and by the way, it often is basically requiring them to purchase arms from the United States. But still, no more handouts to Israel. We only work with them on an ad hoc basis if there's something that we need from them or vice versa. So end the blank check. That's my view.
Okay. And real quick. Sorry. This gerrymandering shit kills me. She said, this is wild, which is accurate. I don't know who Lillian Bell is. She's got a rainbow flag here, lover of elections, obsessed with Oregon politics, which means she's a hard leftist, she, they, oh boy. But I will say this, Oregon... So, she's hard to the left. However, I'm going to follow her just because of this. Wait, sorry, shit. So she said that, this is wild. And then this person said, no wilder than this, talking about Portland spreading out all this land and making it have Portland politics. This is true. Gerrymandering sucks. And I agree with her on that, 100%. And I agree. Portland should be its own district or maybe even 2 districts, depending on the population, whatever. But it should not. You should not have 4 Portland districts. Or if you have enough population to support that, then, you know, whatever. Do what you have to do. I don't care if the 4 districts come straight from Portland, as long as they only include Portland. That's what I'm saying. Like, and its immediate surroundings, and that's it. I'm okay because all these districts are based off population. They divide the state into population equal parts, based on population equal parts, not land mass. Otherwise, some would be way heavier than others. And again, you see the same crap. I'm not hopefully familiar. I want to say this is this is Boston right there. You know, you got some light blue all here. And I'm sure all of these districts would have been light blue at best. So you're just making them darker so that they never lose power. Yeah. Clearly we have a great thinker here. Cooter Duke, thank you. And then again, this is Illinois. All these little squiggles, that's Illinois. These are way more egregious. 100%. But you cannot be against what the red states are doing if you're okay with your states doing it. This is how a lot of these states became so blue in the first place, through gerrymandering. The Democrat Party has always been the party of gerrymandering. The party's never flipped. The Democrat Party is still the party of racism. The Republican Party is just a party full of assholes that are also giant bitches. This is a fact. They're assholes, but the second you put their feet to the fire, they pop. And especially since the left has become the party of holding their breath, grabbing their ears, and stamping their feet, the right's become the party of appeasement. That's all this is. And yes, I used the appeasement word. Sue me.
Do you think that it is more feasible to find or convince plenty of Republicans to hold that view? That's the primary view that needs to change, if you're saying that's your only issue.
Yeah.
Do you think that is more feasible than getting the entire Democrat Party or even any candidates to say, yeah, strong on borders, strong on family values, America first, Second Amendment, freedom of speech, all of those, none of the transing of kids and even, frankly, adults, two genders. What do you think is more feasible if that's your one issue? Because there are plenty of voters out there like me who, by the way, they voted in these primaries. And there are plenty of voters who are much more pro-Israel than I am. Which one is more likely? Because that's who you're handing it to. And as I understand it, Mission Control was just saying there's an update.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes addressed. And I do think that unlike Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson will never show up. Nick will show back up. And we can have a productive, respectful.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't have respect for a lot of his opinions, but I do respect that he has them. And I think he actually believes these things. Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly, they're bought and paid for. They're shills, and I don't believe that they believe anything that they say. I believe that Nick Fuentes believes what he says. That has the potential to make him dangerous. People who believe in what they are passionate about, people who believe in themselves and what they say, can be very dangerous. If I have a little time at the end of this, I'm gonna play a little bit of that. But yeah, what do you think about the Star Fox trailer? But we'll get into that in just a little bit.
Well, people have often been telling you have to. I can't believe you should hate him. I don't hate anybody, but I don't have the ill will toward Nick Fuentes that people demand, because if nothing else, at least he says the part that Tucker and Megyn completely evade. He said, I am a moderate Democrat, vote Democrat. I couldn't disagree more. Tucker and Megyn just go, well, I don't know. It's a Jesse Ventura. I'm just asking questions.
Just asking questions.
Let's see the update from Nick on his political beliefs on his show, I guess.
No, this was when he was on with you. He's clarifying.
No. This is from yesterday.
No, this is from yesterday. I guess Nick Fuentes
Never mind.
gave an
My
update.
apologies.
Yeah.
People say you're only shooting yourself in the foot if you don't vote for the Republican. No, we're shooting you in the face. And that's what we want to do, metaphorically. People say if you don't vote for the Republican and you get a Democrat, you're cutting your nose to spite your face. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're only hurting yourself. No, you're wrong. We're hurting you. Because if Vivek doesn't win the election, then Anduril doesn't get its kickbacks. If Vivek doesn't win the election, Les Wexner doesn't get his kickback. If Vivek doesn't win the election, none of the billionaires, none of the Republicans get what they want. Good. Fuck you. You didn't give us the candidate we wanted. Now you don't get the governor's mansion. You don't get the seat and all the benefits and privileges that are conferred by it. Vivek doesn't get a political career, and all his backers don't get the kickbacks that they want. So it is actually about sending a message. I am not a Democrat. I am not a leftist. I am not even liberal. I'm right-wing.
Well, then I'm confused.
I'm an identitarian. I'm a nationalist. And yeah, Amy Acton is not going to be good for Ohio. But here's the way it's going to shake out. In November, you got two candidates that can win the election. You got a Democrat and a Republican. You got Amy Acton and you got Vivek Ramaswamy. It's a binary. Those are the only two that are going to win. Now, if you vote for Vivek, Vivek is going to win. If you sit out, well, Vivek won't get those votes. But if you vote for Amy Acton, it improves her chances of winning.
I get it.
And so this is why I'm telling all the Groypers, we are going for the Democrat in Ohio. And I know it's unpopular, and I know it's controversial. Good. And I know people are not going to like it. That's fine. People are going to hate me for this, and they're going to call me a shill, and they're going to say I'm a plant, and they're going to say we're vindicated.
And again, I don't think that Nick Fuentes is a shill or a plant. I think he believes everything that he believes in, and he's certainly not doing any of this shit for money. Okay, unless someone's paying him under the table or whatever, he doesn't make any money from this. He has like no sponsors, and he has he's on what, just Rumble? I mean, he might make a decent amount of money, but he's not allowed on any other platform. In the chat, we got James. Oh my God, we finally got him back, right? No, I am very excited to see it. I'm okay with it being basically just a complete restructuring, a remake of the original. Well, the original and Star Fox 64. Because let's face it, it's been the same game every single time, unless they just slapped Star Fox on a game that was never Star Fox. But anyway, back to Fuentes.
Hated on him. He turns out to be a Democrat. Fine. Let's be the villain. Let's be the villain, because we hate the Republican Party right now more than we hate the Democrats. You're damn right. And you want to know why? Because the Democrats, at least it's the devil we know. The Democrats are the enemy. I'll take an enemy over a traitor. The Republican Party put up a pharmaceutical billionaire Hindu Indian who wants more H-1Bs to run for governor of a Rust Belt state. That is a betrayal. That is an insult. They have spit in the face of every Republican in the state of Ohio. They thought that they could get away with that. They thought that we would tolerate that they could shove that down our throats because we're stuck, because they have us hostage, because we have no other options. We have to go with the Republican. So they really thought they would get away with that. That's who they like. Because Vivek is a billionaire, he's got a lot of money, and he's got a lot of friends in Silicon Valley with deep pockets. So the Republican Party leadership loves it. They don't care that we absolutely hate it. They know that we're going to shut up and take it because we got nowhere else to go. Because they think that they have us
We got
hostage.
no place else to go.
I am not a Democrat. I'm under no illusions about what the Democratic Party represents. I think they're immoral. But I am going to tell people to vote for the Democrats, to send a message to the Republicans. We will not tolerate a Republican Party that doesn't represent us anymore. We will not tolerate a Republican Party that isn't America first. If it's not America first, we're sending it back. If it's not America first, we're not voting for it. You're not going to get the seat. You're not going to get the benefits. We will not tolerate it. So yes, we are going out for the Democrat happily, proudly, as a middle finger to Vivek Ramaswamy and his giant head.
It's still funny. And I'll just sort of, give a pass to him saying I'm a moderate Democrat, and then today saying he's not a Democrat. I get that you say things off the cuff. And here's the thing. This is, and if you're, a groiper or someone who's, let me ask you, has any of this worked? You see the inconsistency there. And this is when I was trying to, question Nick and be fair. I saw inconsistencies that I was trying to clarify. I did my best, but it seems like he's right back to them. Let me explain. So this is a middle finger because they don't represent us. Well, here's the thing. I know that, as I understand it, Nick Fuentes didn't like Casey Putz. That he doesn't like him. But, I say Israel is the main issue. He's certainly the kind of person who would be in line with what you're talking about, right? Anti-AI, anti-data centers, while being sponsored by AI. Linking arms, Nick Fuentes suggested, hey, Ro Khanna. Well, he appeared, we told you, right, with Zemaria Munshi, a pro-Palestine and a pro-Palestine and a pro-Iran Muslim, resigned from the White House Religious Liberty Commission over the Iran war. That lady, Contessa, was there. Vish Burra was fired for criticizing Jews, depicting them as cockroaches. This guy was all about Israel and Epstein. In other words, the things that you're talking about, there was that candidate in the primary. Didn't get any momentum.
Yeah.
And believe I agree with you on Vivek.
I don't remember who he's talking about.
I had him sit right here, and I got into an argument with him on the show. There's a lot about Vivek that rubs me the wrong way. But the candidates who have been put up, the people of you said, hey, if people like whatever it is, Thomas Massey, people like, I know not Nick personally, but Casey Putz versus Vivek. Who was the other one there who we had?
Fishback.
Fishback,
yeah,
right? These would be indicative, emblematic of what Marjorie Taylor Greene, what Tucker Carlson, what people like Candace Owens, what you're all saying, the Israel problem, the AI problem.
So retards.
They just
Candace
lost.
Owens.
They just absolutely got trounced, okay? So it didn't do it there. And so now, when the voters have spoken in the primaries, it's Let's give the middle finger to the chosen person for the Republican Party that rejected what it is I'm discussing right now. Now let's vote for Democrat because we view it as a betrayal. It's a betrayal by people who want to determine the direction of this country. And I get they don't have that many options, right? Vivek is not the best option. The other option was someone who would be seen as having Groyper-like policies. Rejected. And so when you don't get that, go with the left. It still doesn't make sense. Fishback, when someone like that gets rejected, go with the left. None of this works. None of this will ever work. Fishback, his whole thing revolved around Israel and Epstein. We've seen this rhetoric manifest itself in candidates who could be voted for. People didn't. So at a certain point, it seems like no matter what it is, you're ultimately going to vote for the left. Also, let me ask you this. The problems that you have with Vivek, which I have too. I don't know enough about the candidate in Ohio who's a Democrat. Are they really hardline against AI? I know that as a whole, the Democrat Party has certainly been in bed with big tech. To a degree not seen with the Republican Party. I'm not comfortable with it. I know the Peter Thiels of the world. I get it. Elon Musk. But historically, you look at Facebook.
Yeah. God, Peter Thiel on the whole 6-7 thing in South Park. Anyway, sorry.
Meta, Instagram, Twitter, Jack Dorsey, YouTube, Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. I get that some of them understood the pendulum was swinging the other way, so out of self-preservation, it's like big banks. Big banks, they bet on Obama. They bet on Bush because they thought that George W. Bush would win. They thought that Barack Obama would win. These are not principled stances in support. It's who they think is most likely to win. You saw some of that with big tech. Big tech has been in the pocket of the left for decades. 4 decades. So if your problem is with big tech, how could you possibly say, yeah, so we'll take the Democrat? Because there are real life consequences to that. People being deplatformed. Free speech no longer existing, people losing their Second Amendment rights, people funding every single NGO, including to create transgender Sesame Street in Iraq or whatever the hell it is. So it's, yeah, okay. Person who represents your views loses in a primary. Let's vote for the Democrat who's just as bad on big tech anyway. Talk about Vivek, his ties with pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, if you look back, it wasn't great.
It seemed very snake oil-like.
Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, some with COVID. Yeah, that's right. The left is no better on those issues. They're worse. If you just want to say, I don't care and I'm not going to take part and just burn it all down, that's fine. But don't tell parents that, hey, we want improved public schools. We're glad that queer, genderqueer, and gay like me, that we're glad that Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer is back. We're glad that maybe we'll be able to have a little bit more school choice. We're glad that we've had a little bit of tax relief. We're glad that, it's a matter of policy that there are 2 genders. We're glad that at least culturally it's okay for people to speak out against biological men competing against women, beating the shit out of them in sports. We're glad that we are a net negative migration country for the first time since we have been born.
That is pretty nice.
We're glad that the border is sealed to anywhere between 96 to 99%. Don't tell those people that they're all shills. I don't think that Tucker is acting in good faith, and I think Megyn Kelly, as you've seen with her record, right, Fox News and feminist, and then went to pro-trans, and then went to anti-trans, and then went to pro-Trump to anti-Trump, was talking about Islam pro-TPUSA, but not willing to stand in the pocket for the people who are being attacked. I just think that she goes where the audience is. That's my interpretation. Or maybe 100%. She's very fickle. That happens too. I've known a lot of women like that. Nick, at least he'll tell you where he stands, and I would like to have that conversation. Nick stands here voting for Democrats. He said moderate Democrat. And then he said he's not a Democrat, but let's just assume he stands here voting for Democrats. I stand on the opposite. It's not my only stance, but when it comes down to said binary decision, you will never find me voting for a Democrat, hoping that they'll just eventually not be woke and devour us. Won't happen. And Groypers, people like that, if you guys feel betrayed, where you're not a moderate Democrat, but you do maybe hope that the Republican Party grows more of a spine and has a more nationalist approach and is willing to divest from the blank check for Israel. Here's the good news. You don't have to be a moderate Democrat. There are people like us out there. And there are plenty of people like that in the voting American public.
Yeah.
None of them are in the Democrat Party. If you are an identitarian, Christian, traditional nationalist, welcome to your new home. We don't have to agree on everything, but we agree a whole lot more than you will with anyone in the Democrat Party. Give us a few days. Maybe you change your mind. Nick's welcome on the show, and so is that OnlyFans stripper. Anything else?
Yeah.
Have them on together.
That would be kind of weird.
It would be pretty funny.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I don't know why you have me on the split screen with this whore.
Hey, shut up, you Nazi.
Yeah, she had a really deep voice. We didn't get into that story today
because it's just a really bad
because
strategy.
It doesn't matter nearly as
You
much.
want to wage a Holocaust on your crabs.
Hey, I got rid of those crabs.
Don't worry, I guess there's only
No,
250.
basically the backstory behind that is Harvard had a person who was just an OnlyFans model, made millions and millions on OnlyFans, and that's it. Had them give a lecture at Harvard about women in the workplace or some shit. At Harvard. Hey, you can work really hard and spend all this money on school so you can better promote your OnlyFans. Anyway, that's going to be all for that. Let's skip over to, just real quick, breaking. Single 30-year-old actress comes out as bisexual. She comes out and says she will literally fuck anyone. Sorry. I know people really, truly are attracted to, like, they don't care. They're attracted to the spirit of the person, or they just are attracted to who they're attracted to, no matter what gender they are. And then you have Hollywood people who will literally fuck anything. Anyway, all right, continuing. We're going to check out some of the Star Fox.
Yeah, hello, everyone. I'm Shigeru Miyamoto.
Skip past.
Last month, we
can't play the movie stuff, but Star Fox was in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and he was one of the best parts. And they're announcing on my sister's birthday yesterday that they're going to do a Star Fox. It's a remake. Let's all be honest. It's a remake. And I'm very excited for it. I'm here for it. Dun, 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 dun.
Atmospheric entry complete. Extend the wing.
Any furries in the audience? How excited are you? Probably just as, if not more excited than I am. I'm not a furry. I just really like Star Fox.
Thanks.
Just the level of detail is really, really nice.
G-diffuser systems check. Sound off, team.
Slippy here. So far, so good.
This is Peppy. All systems go.
Falco here. G-diffuser seems fine. Let's go already.
I don't like the peppy voice.
Let's rock and roll.
Other than that, I'm here for it. So this is the original opening scene from Star Fox 64.
What you're seeing is footage of the game in action. While stage layouts have been kept the same, the visuals have received a major
Like the
upgrade.
HUD.
Slippy, stay in formation.
Banter between characters is also back.
I might get used to him, just as long as Slippy's not as annoying as he is in the original game. I know you're not supposed to let your teammates die, but I normally just let Slippy die because I don't care. Until I learn to tune him out.
Now you've done it, Slippy. Bogey on your tail.
Cover me while I fine-tune my sensors. Oh, you got him? Thanks, Fox.
Oh.
We need your help, Star Fox.
Hey there, General. You seem a little on edge. But as it happens, my team's
This is Fox McCloud, leader of the Star Fox Mercenary
I was
Squad.
about to say, you don't even blink,
We've
dude.
got a job to do, Star Fox. We're gonna take the system back from Androx, one planet at a time.
What?
Falco
Slippy's
Lombardi.
annoying. This is really starting to piss me off. Like, I do hope they'll at least use the One Piece level of cussing in this, just like piss me off or whatever.
Is their ace pilot and Fox's rivals.
Sounds perfect. There's no way Andros would expect us to launch an assault there. You up for another challenge, Fox?
Scans are showing unidentified energy emanating from within.
Flippy Toad is the team's engineer extraordinaire.
Incredible! Do you realize how rare it is to experience a stable warp channel? Did you see the distortions?
That base is the gateway to the wider system, Fox.
And Peppy Hare is their strategic mastermind and veteran pilot.
It's into enemy space. Just this. Hit 'em quick and hit 'em hard.
The fate of the Lilat system rests squarely on
Furry mercenaries? You mean my mercenaries?
their shoulders. The R-Wing is a high-performance aerospace fighter piloted by Fox and his crew. It's equipped with a laser. It can also fire charged shots.
Charged shots is
or
one of my
launch
favorites.
bombs that cover a wide area. The R-Wing can brake, boost,
Oh, thank you.
do a barrel roll to repel enemy fire, and even
I
somersault.
love this game. And can I don't want the little rooster walker. I don't care about it. You could literally just make this game over and over and over and over again, just with new maps or even newer aspects of the same maps, do a reverse thing, and add more maps to the multiplayer that they'll get into shortly. And I would buy this game every 3 or 4 years, especially if you add DLC until the next one comes out. Like Xenoverse. Xenoverse keeps getting all kinds of, well, Xenoverse 2 now, keeps getting all this new DLC every time any new Dragon Ball property comes out. Every single Dragon Ball game that's the last one in its particular series, whether it be Kakarot, Xenoverse, or Sparking Zero. And I think even Fighters, Dragon Ball Fighters, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, whatever you call it, they all get DLC every time any new Dragon Ball material comes out. It's fucking awesome. Dragon Ball fans eat pretty well these days.
Besides the
Oh,
R-Wing,
exactly. It'd
an
be perfect
agile
arcade.
ground assault vehicle called the Landmaster.
I could even get down with these levels too. I don't really care for the submarine
And
one.
a modified exploratory submersible called the Blue Marine can also
I mean,
be
it's okay,
piloted,
but water levels
depending
are
on the
never really
mission.
that good. Few exceptions, I guess.
The campaign will take you to diverse planets as you seek out the enemy's stronghold to restore peace in the Lilat system. Corneria is a planet teeming with life and the beating heart of the system. Ficina is a frozen planet with most of its surface covered in ice and snow.
It's your own target, Fox.
Solar is the Lilat system's scorching hot second star. And Zoness is a deserted, polluted ocean planet that was stripped of all its natural resources.
Cool your jets, Cat.
There's also an asteroid field to navigate.
Persistent
I
laser
love
tech.
this game. It's absolutely.
And the inside of a nebula.
I'm gonna pause it for the cause right here, and just say, just look at this, the detail. I know it's not like modern video game standards for like PS5, PC, whatever, but for a Nintendo game, they made this look so good.
From planet surfaces to outer space, a variety of stages await.
VR would be cool.
With free-flying dogfights in all-range mode.
Unit, don't let anything through.
And massive boss battles. You can look forward to intense aerial combat.
You are an enemy.
We did. All units, disengage.
This level's basically Independence Day. That's pretty awesome.
Depending on the
I like
objectives
how
you complete, the number of enemies
Bill
shot
the Bulldog
down,
is
and other
basically Bill
factors,
Pullman.
the route you take through the system may change. Replay stages with a different approach to find ways through that are off the beaten path.
You'd better be right about this, Falco.
I say we trust Falco's instincts.
You worry about your own.
Plenty of new cutscenes have also been added. These include never-before-seen mission briefings between stages, allowing you to learn more about the
As long as they're
characters of the
skippable
Star
after
Fox
the first time
universe.
when you go through them,
Fall in, team.
I'm down with
How are we doing?
the cutscenes.
You can choose
100%.
between easy, normal, and expert
It adds
difficulty
depth
settings.
and lore.
When playing on easy difficulty, your shield gauge will be longer, and your lasers will remain powered up,
Okay.
making it ideal for novice pilots. In challenge mode, you can replay stages you've already cleared. Complete a variety of objectives that bring new challenges to each mission that you won't find in the campaign.
All right, yeah, this could definitely be cool.
Defend the Allied fleet! Don't let any of them pass us!
Break through! We'll find out who's coordinating this attack.
Take on these challenges on either normal or expert difficulty.
Oh, interesting.
Battle mode puts you in 4 versus 4 dogfights.
Yo,
Players are split
especially
between Team Star Fox.
especially if you go through the easy path or whatever, and you get the fake robot Andros. That's gonna look pretty sick too.
And Team
And
Star
Andros'
Wolf.
brain and
They
eyes
compete to
attacking
earn
you.
the most
Come
points by
on.
clearing
Spoilers
missions
for a
and taking
30-year-old
down
game.
foes. You can select from 3 stages, each with its own rule set. Take out opponents and seize control of the
This is
zone
gonna be
around
pretty
the
dope.
satellite towers
I
on
will say
Corneria.
this. It kind of sucks there's only 3 maps, but hopefully they add some maps.
Completed the objective.
You remember, like, we hoped that they would add more when they did Mario Superstars or whatever, the Mario Party Superstars, where they brought back a bunch of classic stuff, and we were like, oh, cool, maybe they'll add to it later, and they never did. Hopefully they do that on this, though. Come on, Nintendo. You watch this channel, right? No? Only Yanuka and Shapeshifter watch? And then, I mean, I get it like 100 views on some of these afterwards, but I
Collect
very
as
much
many
love
energy
my
crystals as you
viewer
can
base.
while dodging meteorites on Ficina.
I won't say fan base just yet, but I'm definitely a fan of yours.
Or retrieve cargo from space pirates and take it to your base in Sector Y.
Star Fox completed the objective.
You can create private matches with your friends online, or match up with random players from around the world, making for a variety
yeah?
of ways
Awesome.
to join team battles.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
Plus, if one person has
The crappy thing is I still got to get a Switch too, so I'll probably... Yeah, I'll probably get this for myself for my birthday.
the game, up to 4 players can take to the skies locally with Game
Oh,
Share,
thanks, Shapeshifter.
or online using Game Share via Game Chat. By holding your Joy-Con 2 controller like a mouse, you can seamlessly swap to mouse-controlled targeting for intuitive aiming.
Okay, this is Nintendo learning from their mistakes. Having a potentially awesome new control scheme and not making it mandatory. Star Fox Zero could have been the breakout game for the Nintendo Wii. It could have had many units sold if they had made the new control scheme not mandatory. If you could switch it back to the old control scheme, Star Fox Zero would have been a console seller, 100%.
Steering.
Slippy, stay in formation. Now you've done it, Slippy. Bogey on your tail.
By sharing one of the Joy-Con 2 controllers with a second player, you can split pilot and gunner duties in co-op.
We're entering Corneria City now. Andros sure
Oh
is
yeah,
trashed
first-person
the
mode,
place.
exactly like you said. You could definitely use this. If they brought back any non-cardboard-based VR to this system, that would be pretty perfect for it. Unfortunately, you'd probably have to have 2 sets of Joy-Cons to make it work, especially if you wanted to have controllers in your hands for it. But
I'll target the lights on the left. You guys go right.
I mean, you could use a Pro Controller, but still, too.
It's a trap. Take him down. Don't crawl back under your top. A swarm of lowly flies. Get ready,
I'll
team.
take care of
We're
you.
approaching Venom airspace.
I probably won't use it. I
What did you
definitely
think?
don't trust people enough, most people enough to do it, but I do like that they have it. The more features they have in this, especially ones that could bring people to buy the game, that could hopefully make this game very successful so that they'll make another Star Fox game that hopefully doesn't get given out to a third-party American developer like the Metroid Prime 4 that we waited for, 12 years for? How long was it? 9 years for? And it sucked. I mean, it didn't. It sucked. It sucked.
As you just saw, Fox and Company have a more animal-like design in this game. Reborn exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2 system, Star Fox launches June 25th.
Yes. Give it to me.
By the way, this game also supports character avatars, which
Okay. When he shows this and he shows his face to the left of this character avatar and he's showing how it tracks your face and what it can do, is it just me or does this look slightly more realistic than his face right next to it? It just feels like he's moving kind of weird, like the camera has some kind of weird, I don't know, just watch.
change your face in game chat to look like a character, like this. How do I look? It doesn't just capture your head movement. But your mouth movement? Blinks. And your eyebrow movement?
Maybe it was just because I was watching this live, but when I watched this live the first time through, his face was kind of janky, like when it was moving, but it seems fine now, I guess.
As well. If you have a compatible USB camera,
I'm an asshole.
please
Never
give
mind.
it a try. When using character avatars to look like a Star Fox character,
No, exactly.
friends
That would
playing
be
other games
amazing.
can also see your new look. This game also supports the Nintendo 64 controller. Those who played the Nintendo 64 version can enjoy
I actually have a
controls
VTuber
that feel
avatar
even
drawn
closer
out.
to the original.
I
Since
just,
its debut on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Star
Haven't
Fox series
implemented
has
it
had
yet
a
'cause
long legacy on Nintendo
I don't know how to do it
platforms.
mostly.
Along that journey, it set out for adventure. And join the battle in the Super Smash Bros. Series. We're grateful that you've continued to support the series for more than 30 years. If you've never experienced the series before, we hope you'll give Star Fox a try.
I love this. I like.
Finally, we'll finish this presentation by sharing the game's prologue, which depicts a past battle involving James McCloud, father of the protagonist Fox. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it's a prologue. I didn't catch that little bit of backstory the first time through. I thought it was going to be something like playable, like a prequel DLC or something, or a free
Come
demo
in,
that they
Star
were putting
Fox.
up. Either
This
way,
is
I'm here for
Bulgaria
it.
Defense Force Headquarters. Do you read?
Loud and clear. James McCloud here, General. Star Fox is on approach to Venom. No indications yet of any suspicious activity. We'll let you know.
All right, I'll watch it.
Proceed with caution. You're
It
the
won't be
first
this
to set
weekend.
eyes on
I'll
that
probably
place
jump
in
on it
years.
next weekend.
And thank you for accepting this mission, James. You're the only one I can trust.
General Pepper, do you read me? Something's jamming long-range comms. Stay sharp, team.
Are you seeing this, James? According to my instruments, the atmosphere is highly toxic.
And we're doing this job for next to nothing? We're supposed to be mercs, not chumps.
There's more at stake here than our bottom line, Pigma.
Yeah, sure.
So
General
it's just the
Pepper
three of
says
them?
his people have detected signs of activity on Venom's surface. He's concerned it has something to do with Dr. Andross.
It's been years since Andross was banished here, James. If the atmosphere is poisonous,
All the more reason to figure out what's going on. Dr. Andross made mistakes, and he paid the price for them. But whatever else he is a genius. Maybe he found a way to survive.
Our leader. Such a bleeding heart.
Pigma represents me in this
Where'd
scene.
they come from?
Defensive formation.
At least what he said, not what he's about to do.
Pigma, where are you going?
It's like you told me. I'm getting into formation.
You two-timing swine!
Swine!
What can I say? My new boss pays better. Corneria must suffer. Death.
I would have shot Pigma.
Stand in the way of my vengeance.
Was that Dr. Andros?
Don't let them escape!
I can't shake him.
Hey, Peppy! Catch! Ah!
James!
Peppy, are you there? Come in, Peppy. Do you read me? I'm losing altitude. Peppy, you need to get out of here. Warn the general.
Not without you, James.
That's an order.
Oh, did he? I never got to finish this hold.
Peppy, keep an eye on Fox.
It got stolen. All my best games got stolen in around that generation. So cool. All right, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, no, I missed out on most of the GameCube era and the original DS era. I was staying with a cousin of mine. He had a drug problem, and he pretty much sold everything that I owned. All my game systems. I had Xbox. We had PS2 then. My GameCube. My DS. My laptop. A bunch of my movies and games, including 2 movies that I had rented that I had to. Thankfully, I tracked them all down. And I throat chopped my cousin, but yeah, so I didn't, I fell off of gaming for a little bit until I joined, until, I think until San Andreas came out, and then I got a 360, and I played, the Pitch Black movie, the game, Escape from Butcher Bay. Love that game. The sequel was okay. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. I appreciate my 2 biggest fans for stopping by, Shapeshifter, Yanuka. I very much appreciate y'all for being here as much as you are. All the engagement in the chat. Hopefully we can build on that, and we'll build this community. But if not, I'm very happy with the way things are. You two definitely make doing the show worth it every day, and I appreciate you. But I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going out of town to see some family. It's my sister's birthday, and then Mother's Day. So I'm going to do something nice for them this weekend, and then I should be back. I'm trying to be back Saturday night so I can do maybe a Sunday morning. But if I know my mom, she's gonna keep me there. So I will definitely be back Monday morning for the next edition of the Associated Guests. I, as always, have been your host, Alfie Animus, and we will see you on. Hey, y'all have a great weekend too. But